Joining me live now is the WA Bureau Chief of the Australian, Paige Taylor. Paige, good morning to you. Thanks for your time this morning. So bring us up to speed with where the investigation is at right now.
Well, we've had what I think is our most comprehensive explanation of what police are doing. There's two tiers to this, they're telling us. There's the investigative arm where they're looking at whether Cleo may have been abducted, and they're pouring more and more resources into that, they tell us. But then there's also the search and rescue mission, which was scaled up yesterday because, as the police commissioner explained to us, it was getting to a point that he described as critical.
I guess abducted by who is the big question that everyone is asking at the moment. I mean, what obviously we don't know the answer to that question, but who are police looking at the moment? Do we know?
They've been fairly guarded about some of their operation. They did reveal to us late yesterday that they had spoken to all of the registered and known sex offenders in the region, and there's up to 20 of those. It's a fairly sparsely populated area. The Gascoyne is about 960 kilometres north of Perth. But in and around the town of Carnavon, there are up to 20 people who are known to police as sex offenders, and they say they've identified and spoken to each of them.
Given they were camping, is just for people on the viewers on the East Coast here, I mean, was there many people camping in that space at that time? Is it closer to a town? What's the layout?
Well, it's a very popular spot. It's called the Blowholes, which is because it's close to some very dangerous deadly, actually, rocks, but it's also close to a protected beach, which is nice for kids to swim at. And so we're told a lot of people were there on that day. It's only 50 kilometres north of the town of Carnarvon. And because Western Australia's borders are closed, camping spots are attracting a lot of people.
I mean, it's pretty brazen, this theory that someone's come in, opened a tent and taken the girl and then left without anyone seeing that. I mean, what do you make of that?
Well, I think...
That theory, I should say.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it does seem so unlikely that as a layperson, a little girl aged 4 would wander off with her sleeping bag. And the police told us yesterday that they also understand that the tent was open to a point that was too high for little Cleo to have opened herself.
Yeah. How are the family doing at the moment, Paige?
They gave us an interview on Tuesday, which was day 4. They looked exhausted, as you would expect. The police are giving us daily updates. They say they're at a loss about what to do. They're still in the area. They have not left, and they're in a police truck. I think they feel hopeless, is what we're told.
You mentioned that blowhole and how deadly it can be. Is that possibly where she's wandered? I mean, I don't know why she'd be wandering there at 1:30 in the morning, but perhaps another time?
Well, it's one of the search areas. They're going over each dangerous and fairly accessible spot 2 to 3 times, the police tell us, and that's part of it. There's salt lakes there, there's scrub, there's rocky cliffs. It's fairly diverse in terms of terrain.
Yeah. And just finally, back to the persons of interest. I mean, is there anyone, you spoke about the registered sex offenders, how they've been interviewed by police or looked at by police. Is there anyone else that they are interviewing at the moment?
The police told us that early on they had had a conversation with Cleo's biological father for background, and they have established and are very comfortable that he was nowhere near the area. He was interviewed in Mandurah, which is about 1,000 kilometres south. They're very open about the fact that they have no suspects at this point. That's what they're telling us.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, it's a mystery, and it's becoming more intriguing by the day. But I mean, just finally, is there? What are the police saying about the chances that she's still alive, Paige?
They're saying if she's lost in that area, unfortunately, that the chances are getting slimmer and slimmer. And I think that's what the Police Commissioner Chris Dawson meant late yesterday when he said we're at a critical stage.